This was exactly how I landed my first social media marketing agency client. So this dates all the way back to probably 2018. I was desperate to get started on my social media marketing agency. I had tried everything. I had tried drop shipping, Amazon FBA. I had tried flipping products online. I've tried a lot of different things, guys. And when I finally found social media marketing, digital marketing agency, and things like that, I was like, all right, how do I get started? I just wanted to test, might as well test this out too, since I had failed at everything else. So it's a pretty crazy story of how I've been able to go from one client all the way up to a six-figure agency that I built all from my bedroom. So if you guys want to know more content, more tips and tricks, not tips and tricks, but more, I guess, strategies and my methods and stuff like that to grow your own agency, make sure you guys subscribe to the journey, subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping 2 to 3 videos every single week to help you grow your agency. I have resources, free resources for you to download in the description. If you join my private Facebook group, all that's in there. But let me tell you a story of how I landed my first social media marketing agency. So for months, I was, trying to get my first paying client. I was cold emailing. I was doing messaging businesses on Facebooks and things like that. And I either got 0 replies, or I would have businesses that couldn't afford my fees. And I was doing so many, I was spending so much time and energy doing free audits, making videos to say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, this is what's wrong with your marketing, and this is how I could help. And, everything sounds good and all until it comes down to, all right, I charge $1,000, $1,500, and then you need to also allocate your own $1,000, $1,500 towards budgeting, your ad budget. And that's where things would get cut off. Let me talk to my team. Let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. Let me get back to you. Reach back out in 3 months. I've heard it all, guys. I've heard it all. And so none of this was working, right? And I had taken this course. It was a Ty Lopez course at the time. I didn't buy it. My best friend's little brother had purchased it. And they were like, hey, I got this new course. Want to check it out? So I went through the entire course, and I was feeling confident. I was excited to, start working from anywhere and, make 6 to 7 figures, working anywhere. The life or the dream was real, right? I had really big goals with that and trying to go with that. And so I was taught to go after local businesses, and so I needed to figure out a niche that could afford my services. So that was kind of like one of the biggest obstacles, was that most businesses couldn't afford my services. So I was like, all right, what kind of niches could I go after that would be able to pay for this type of stuff, right? So I started looking in. I was like, all right, you know what? Doctors, right? Doctors was the first thing that came to my mind. My parents wanted me to become a doctor, and unfortunately, I didn't become a doctor, but it wouldn't be as bad if I could tell them that, hey, I'm working with doctors, right, as a marketer. I think things would still be, it would work out for them. And so I started going after doctors. I was like, all right, what kind of doctors? All right, chiropractors, because I kept on hearing everyone's going after chiropractors. And it was an easy niche to get yourself into and start landing new clients there. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to do what everyone else is doing, and let's do chiropractors. So I started reaching out to every single chiropractor in my area, whether it was through cold emails and cold calls. Those were the 2 main things I was doing to reach out to these chiropractors at the time. And I got a lot of no's, got a lot of rejections, and if going back, I would not do cold calls because I suck at cold calls. I hated just the thought of picking up the phone and calling a stranger and trying to pitch them my product and services, or pitching an in-person meeting or anything like that. I wasn't built for that. I didn't like it at all. It's not for me. So shout out to all the people who are comfortable doing cold calls. And still to this day, we don't do any cold calls in my agency. And I built a 6-figure agency without doing cold calls. I have a free training on that. If you want to learn how to land clients without cold calls, that link is in the description below. But so I was doing all these cold calls, and I was in these SMMA Facebook groups, and people were posting up, just did 50 cold calls today. I did 100 cold calls today, and I was like, wow, I was kind of inspired by these people. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of cold calls. Because me, after like 5, I would just give up because of after every rejection, I would feel like, hey, it would just get worse. My morale would just go down after every single phone call, and so I was like, all right, cold call is not for me. And so I was doing cold emails at the time, and cold emails actually landed me a couple meetings. And inside my cold email, I gave an irresistible offer. So I wasn't even pitching or selling my products or anything like that. What I did in my cold emails was that I was reaching out to these chiropractors and I was offering free trials and volunteer services because I wanted more experience. I wanted to get some case studies. I wanted some, I wanted to do free trials in exchange for testimonials. That was kind of like the thing I was going for because I knew that if I can get case studies, experience, and testimonials under my belt, I'm going to be more confident to land more clients easily because I have something to show and it's going to help me land clients easily. So I met with these people. I met with these chiropractors for this free volunteer thing, 2-week free trial in exchange for a testimonial. And, even when I met up with them, none of them went through after they said, well, how much is it going to be after the trial? I tell them it's going to be this much and you're going to have to allocate this much towards marketing. Even though I'm doing a free trial, you're still going to have to put in this much money for you to get started. And once it comes to that, the game's all over. I need to think about it, all those things, right? So I wasn't a good salesperson. This was my first time in business, so I didn't know how to handle these objections. I didn't know how to handle sales or anything like that. That's why I was offering free stuff in the first place because I couldn't sell. So I was just like, hey, I'll do it for free. So got a lot of no's with that. And then I was just about to give up on this whole social media marketing stuff. I was seeing, these people posting up that they just landed 3 clients this week. They're making 5K this month or 5K this week or whatever, and I really didn't believe it anymore because I'm just like, how do you do that? Because I've tried it myself and it's not working, right? So I started thinking that these people are just saying that type of stuff to get attention and for fame or something, or boost their followers or whatever it is, right? So I was pretty close to giving up. And nothing was going on for me. I'm a few months in and just prospecting and no results whatsoever. I've tried everything. So one day I go to the gym and I see this chiropractor booth set up at my 24-hour fitness, and I was like, okay, well, if they're marketing at a gym, then they're probably open to other marketing ideas that bring them more business, right? So I took down their phone number, and the next morning I call them, and usually it's hard to get past the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is like, hey, let me get your information and we'll give you a call back if we're interested, right? But this time I called and the actual doctor picked up. The owner of the clinic picked up. And I was like, hey, I'm, a new digital marketing student. I'm looking to do a free trial, to grow my portfolio or something like that. And I just remember like being so hopeless. I was on this call and I was already expecting another rejection. Like I was just slouch. I was like, hey, I'm trying to grow my portfolio type of thing. And surprisingly, the doctor was like, you are exactly somebody we've been looking for. We've been looking to get our internet marketing type of stuff, Facebook ads going, but we've tried it ourselves and it hasn't worked. So we've been looking for someone like you. And if you're willing to do, a free trial, I'll be more than happy to give you that testimonial that you're looking for. And so I was super excited. We set up this meeting, this appointment for me to come in and finally, get the ball rolling. I come in and I meet his assistant. I thought I was gonna meet with the actual doctor, but I guess I met with the assistant, and I could tell the assistant, she was about my age and she wasn't really interested in being there. Having to listen to what I had to offer. So, it kind of just took away from what she was supposed to be doing. But she sat there. She was nice enough to sit there and listen to what I had to offer. And I told her, hey, this is what I do. I'm looking to grow my portfolio. I have my little iPad with me and, using my iPad as a presentation, showing some slides. This is exactly what I would do for you. This is the Facebook ads. This is what I would create. We're going to get you leads. And, I'll even I'll even pay for your ads. You don't even have to do anything. I'll pay for your ads for the first week. If you like it, we can continue. If you don't like it, no worries at all. Just give me, some type of testimonial saying that I did it for you guys, right? So I was really that desperate at that point to get the ball rolling for them that I was willing to offer. I was willing to pay for their ads, and that helped me get that free trial, right? So I was super desperate. I don't recommend that you guys pay for anybody ads. Don't do it just because I don't want you guys to go and waste your money and put yourself in that type of position. I only did it because I was bad at selling. I was new to the business. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was desperate to get the ball rolling, and I really just wanted to get my foot in the door. I really just wanted to see some type of activity with this, right? Because I know that if I can get great results, then he's going to be a client with me. He's going to be a paying client. So a week goes by and I had generated him 10 new leads, right? I had generated him 10 leads. I'm excited. I'm stoked. And mind you, I didn't even put together at the time, I didn't even put together a good Facebook ad. I just did a simple, ad campaign. I used stock images. That was the number one mistake. And then I used the same interest and, targeting the same interest, the same audience and things like that, but still managed to get 10 leads, right? So it was good. I go back, and I finally got to meet with the doctor, and he was pretty happy about it. He was like, you got 10 leads, even though a lot of people didn't show up, they didn't come in. They scheduled appointments, they didn't come in, but you still got us 10 leads. That's more than what we're currently doing with other stuff, and this is something I would move forward with. And he really appreciated the fact that I put myself out there and even paid for his ads. He was actually really appreciative of that. He was like, you know what? I really like you. I really like what you're doing. I like the hustle. And so I'm going to pay you back for what you had paid for my ad spend. I think he really appreciated it. I think I spent about $120 that week for those 10 leads. I forgot. It might have been a lot less than $120. But nonetheless, he paid me back for my ad spend. And so he moved forward, and I think we ended up agreeing to $1,200. He gave me a check for $1,200 on the spot. I think $700 was towards my services, and then $500 was towards his monthly ad budget. And so the month goes by, and each week we got less and less leads, right? So I had this Facebook campaign already running for him. I was like, all right, hey, if I'm getting 10 leads every single week for him, at the end of the month, I should have about 40 leads for $500, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. But every single week, we were getting less and less leads, and the doctor's hitting me up like, hey, what's going on? The Facebook ads is starting, we're not seeing as many leads anymore as when we were seeing during your trial. And I couldn't figure it out. I was trying different offers, different stock images and things like that, and it didn't work. And at the end of the month, we cut ties. So at the end of the month, I went back to meet with him, and he was like, hey, it didn't really work out. We didn't get a return on our investment, so we're going to have to let you go. And that is the story of my social media, my first client with my social media marketing agency. Now, going back now from knowing what I know now, I figured out what was the problem. The first problem was the quality of the ad. So number one, using stock images is a terrible idea. Don't use stock images if you run Facebook ads. It's a pretty rookie mistake, but at the time I was a rookie. I would have used a photo of the doctor, the team, maybe a video of him adjusting his clients, him working with his patients, anything but stock images, right? So something that people can see, that can relate to, and say, hey, that is the real person, and try to build that credibility, that trust with our audience. The second thing where we messed up with was running Facebook ads and targeting the same audience. I had seen this YouTube video how to generate leads using Facebook ads for chiropractors. And, they taught, hey, target this, people who are interested in health and wellness and things like that. So I did exactly what it was, and I got the 10 leads of free trial. But what happened was we ran into what's called ad fatigue. And what that is, what that is when you run your same ad targeting the same audience, and they get tired of seeing your ads, and Facebook isn't showing your ad to quality people anymore because the same people are seeing your ads, and that's not resulting in any new leads, right? So those were the two main mistakes that I've learned, and if I was to go back and if I fixed those two things, then I'm positive I would have got greater results and I would have kept the client for a lot longer. However, I don't work with chiropractors or anything like that anymore. Working with a whole different niche. But if you are starting out, chiropractors is not a bad niche. It's a very easy niche to go in. There's a ton of chiropractors in your community, in your and everywhere throughout the world, right? Chiropractors are huge. There's a lot of them, and so you would be able to land chiropractors as a new client if you were to reach out to them as well. And I think it's very easy to get leads as well. If I put together a crappy Facebook ad campaign and still deliver 10 leads in that first week. And for those of you who probably have more experience than me than what I was doing back then, I'm sure you'll be able to get great results as well. But that is the story of how I got my first client. And for, maybe in another video, I'll share with you how I was able to kind of make that transition to a new niche, and how I was able to put myself in the right position, and started this journey on finally building my six-figure agency the right way. And that's where we are today. We have a six-figure agency. We're pulling in about 10K per month in profit. We've had our best month of 14K, and we're looking to scale up to 20 to 30K this year. Hopefully this COVID stuff ends as soon as possible, because it's kind of preventing me from scaling a lot faster than what I was doing before, but it's okay. Sometimes you gotta take a step back to make a giant leap forward. Right now, we're just focusing on our systems, improving and tweaking our prospecting systems so that we can scale and landing more clients. I do have a free training for you guys. It's exclusive. It's a new training, 2020 training. Where I teach my top 3 secrets on growing your agency. I believe it's going to teach you how to consistently land new high-ticket clients, how to deliver amazing results to your clients so that you can keep them paying you every single month. And then my third secret is how to close deals without saying a single word to them, before even having to say a single word to them, because I'm not the greatest salesperson. I'm going to admit it. I'm not a salesperson. And for those of you who aren't good at sales either, believe me, we are on the same page. But for those of you who are good at sales, then this is still going to be helpful to you, because it's going to help you close at a higher rate. You're not going to have to, before you even say a single word to them. So check out the free training. The link is in the description below. If you like this video, you like this story, and you want to hear more content, subscribe to the journey. Give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below what topic content I should make next for you guys. All right. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and peace.